Hey guys, it's GalaxyGorilla coming at you with our newest series that's going to be taking up the Thursday slot. We're going to be playing some Songs of Six. If you guys have not heard of this game before, it is a colony, slash city builder, and, it's more on the fantasy side where, you've got like dwarves, elves, bug people, lizard people, all that sort of stuff. It's a lot of fun. We're also going to be playing on the V67 Beta version, so hopefully nothing will happen, but I really like this game. I've already put like 55 hours into it. It's a lot of fun. If you guys are into these sort of games, I highly recommend checking it out. So the main goal for this series is to, try to maybe conquer the whole planet, or I guess like the whole continent, whatever you want to call it. But we have our starting area here. It's pretty nice. We've got a lot of, good, honestly, pretty plentiful resources with like fruits, vegetables, animals, all of that sort of stuff, and we're pretty protected when it comes to like the map space. So if you go to this button up here and you toggle the city view, you can actually see the world outside. So when it comes to the different species, you have, the pig people, the Crotonians, you've got the Talapi, which are the elves, more Crotonians, more elves. Okay, this is a couple Dondorians, which are, dwarves and humans. Those are like the main species. There's like two unplayable species, but the only thing that I'm little worried about for this playthrough is outside of our, borders is like we live on this little comfy island, and on the right on the outside is another lizard like city. I don't know if this is going to be good or bad. They might like us a little bit more because we are the same species, so I'm kind of hoping we'll be able to trade and curry favor with them, and they'll kind of act as like a blocker for like major enemies in case, like the pigs or the elves out here decide that, oh, we want to kill Lizard. Because it seems like there are not many else when it comes to our species. It seems like it's mostly just like pigs and, elves with like the occasional bug here and there, some Dondorians. But I think we can make this work. I'm going to try my best. I'm kind of okay at this game. I like to think I'm pretty decent at it. I've put a lot of time into it, but we'll see how much has changed in this V67 beta. Maybe I'll go over some of the patch notes down in the description, but let me know what you guys think, and let's jump into this. So the first thing I usually like to do is, I'll keep the game paused, but we need to throw up a couple things, like, for example, these guys need a house. Let's make a... I typically always make long houses. I never really make, small ones, just because it's more efficient to have, like, a ton of people living together. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so yeah, we want that, and then we do want some of the care things, like, let's see, where are they? Health? Yeah, okay, health. So we're gonna want a well. Wells are always nice. People like being able to clean themselves, all that fun stuff. So let's go ahead and pop a well down there. And we're also going to want to grab a hearth because, it gets cold outside. We are lizards. We don't want to, die. And lastly, these I would say are like the three most important things to build in the beginning. Is if you go over to here, I believe, no, it's not in this one. It is in, not that one either. Oh no. Ah, here it is, the warehouse. So the warehouse is very important because, you need to be able to store all of your stuff. If you don't store it, it's going to go bad and it's going to blah blah blah, that sort of stuff. And then if you look, you can actually change what building material your building is made out of. If you want to make it out of stone, it can be made out of stone. If you want to be made out of wood, it can be made out of wood. But for right now, we're going to keep everything mud. Just simple and easy for us. Let's go ahead and set up our storage here. Make a nice little conga line of storage buildings. A couple little blocks here and there. Let me think. Actually, do we want to make the building a little wider just so we can fit more? I think that might be smart. Because, like, okay, if we do this here, we can build it up to this way. Because then also you will need to add, like, doors and stuff. So if you head over to here, you can add a doorway to the building. Pop one, like, in there. Pop one there. Do one right there, one right there. The insulation is a little bad, but it does... Oh, does that still cut off the room then? Okay, then yeah, we'll leave it at that, and then let's close off some of these doorways. We'll leave it as just like a double doorway building. All right, and I think that's going to be pretty good for like, like an opening little city here. So as the lizards, you got to keep an eye on like what makes them happy, so you can come over here and take a look at it. It's actually really cool. The guy who made this game like really put a lot of time and effort into that, and I think that's awesome. You can like see what they want and blah blah blah. And then if it comes over to here, you can look at the fulfillment and, see what they want, what they don't want, all that sort of stuff. And that also comes with over here, which is like the happiness and loyalty meter. So our goal is to hopefully make like a nice, happy society as quick as possible. But the lizards, one of the things that they like the most is fishing. So we're hopefully going to also build a fishery as soon as possible. You know what? Here, let's get this in place first. We'll get this all set up, and then we can go about like setting up a fishery. They will need to tear down some of these trees, so hopefully that'll act as like additional wood. Because thankfully the game is nice and it does give you, a pretty fair amount of starting materials, but you'll always need more. I might also go ahead and set up a pasture over here too, because, the lizards are actually pretty good at farming the, like, little turtle animals. There's a ton of different livestock and stuff, so if you scroll out, you can actually see them on the map. There's the pigs, there is the grubs, we got like the tigers up here, which are a little dangerous, you got the chickens, you got the little lizards here, so we're probably going to want as many of those as possible to try to keep them captured. But I mean, realistically, like when it comes to like the early game, the main thing you want to do is to just keep your people happy. And I think the easiest way to do that, here, let's quickly pause. So, the best way to keep them happy is by building a lot of these easy amenities to, mitigate all of like their frustrations and stuff. If you go over to here, you can actually see how many boxes and buildings, you can keep in this sort of stuff. But you also need to allocate how many workers are inside the building at a time. So, I mean, realistically, we don't need that many. We'll probably just start off with one for now and just kind of leave it as that. You can let the AI adjust it, but sometimes it feels a little funky. I don't really like it too much. But another thing you need to allocate is, how much storage is for what. Like, for example, if you have a lot of wood, you're going to want to put more boxes in wood. You have a lot of stone, you're going to want to put more in stone. So the main thing we have right now, let's take a quick peek. We've got stone, we've got wood, we've got grain, we've got rations, and we've got some livestock. All right, so we're going to want to put some points into livestock, grain, and just rations. Make sure like everything is just kind of stored away right now, so food and stuff isn't spoiling. We do have some extra crates, but we don't really need to put it into anything yet, so we'll leave that there. All right, cool. Because somebody will go around an odd job and just start, putting everything away in there as they're doing right now. And then, yeah, the building is about to be done, so they have a house to sleep in. That should push up their happiness quite a bit. So what we're going to do now is we're sitting pretty comfortably. We're going to slow down the game a little bit. And we're going to come up here and we're going to see what we can do about making a fishery. So fishing is awesome. You love fishing. But it seems like there might be a little issue here. Did they change? They might have changed how fishing works. Because originally, what you would be able to see is just, you'd be able to see fish on the map. And it seems like they might have changed that. So let's quickly scroll over here to the city. And we'll just make like a little box, like a small little 4x4 box. Nice and easy. And then, we'll pop everything in there. We need the, the storage and some auxiliaries for just, beefed up efficiency. But then when it comes to, actually fishing, you want to be able to extend your stuff here into the water. But from what I can see is there aren't any fish over here, so we can't really pop the building there. It's not going to work too well. So I think what we'll need to do is we might have to build the fishery over here and just kind of have our people trudge over to this way. Okay. I kind of wish I set up my people a little closer to the coast. I don't really want to have them, like, walking so far. But, it's probably our best alternative at this point. Okay. Because, obviously, people need to eat. You need food. So if there's no food, people are going to be like, what the hell? Where's our food? So let's line this up as best as possible with the city. And then, yeah, I think we'll throw up the fishery right here. Yeah, because there's all the little fish icons. They're over here. Alright, so we'll set up our little 4x4. Let's do it right here. I think this is probably for the best. Set up our little 4x4 box. Set up the storage in this corner right here. And before we do any auxiliaries, Let's just focus on this first. Stretching out to being able to touch the fish. Because as of right now, it doesn't seem like it's going to be producing anything, which is a little problem. Because, you know, fish is, like, is hopefully going to be, like, our major food source for a while. So let's stretch this out a little bit and see what we can do from here. Then we'll stretch it down a little this way. See how much of this we can get, because we want to be able to produce enough. So, because when it comes to, like, food production and stuff, you want to be able to, you know, make more than, you know, people are eating, just so, you know, you're not getting eaten out of, like, house and home and such. So, do these auxiliaries cost furniture? They don't. They just cost wood, which is, like, really nice, actually. Like, holy crap, that's pretty huge. And we can get all the way up to 100%, and we've got more than enough wood to handle this. So it seems like the fishing was a little nerfed, which is a little crappy because of just how good it was before. I mean, like, okay, it was pretty free. I'm not gonna lie. It was pretty free to, you know, just kind of rely on fish as like a main source of food. But it seems like the creator did in fact nerf that, which is, you know, kind of understandable with how good it was. All right, the house is done. We're going to be able to start, you know, living there. So I think what we're going to do is we're probably going to chop a pretty good amount of this down to try to turn it into like a pastured area for everybody to, you know, be able to, you know, grow and eat from, you know, the animals and stuff. So we do have the fish. We have the fish bunkered up. How many? We have a couple crates left. Let's put those 2 crates into wood just because we're going to want to store as much as possible and not really leave it out. But let's go quickly check on the production. Okay, I went a little too far. Alright, this is being built, which is what we want to see. So at this point in time, if you do check over here, as happiness starts to rise, if you look over here, you can actually check and see and, you know, immigrate people in. You can set it to do it automatically, or you can set it to do it on its own. People typically don't like immigration and stuff. They'll usually get a little frustrated if you try bringing more people in, but whatever. You need more people, honestly. So I guess in preparation for that, we might want to build another home. So while I do like this game a lot, and, you know, I try really hard to be, like, decent at it, if you guys do have any tips on, you know, how to play better and all that sort of stuff, I'm super happy to listen. I do like this game quite a bit, but it is a little hard. Alright, I think one more thing we want to do here is we want to make the pasture. I do usually like to make, you know, like, giant pastures and stuff. But at the same time, I don't know if we can handle making something that big at this moment in time. So let's play it safe and smart. Actually, let's quickly... Okay, fertility's like huge right here. I think this is actually like a perfect place to plop down a pasture, because it's like 100% all the way down, which is awesome. So I didn't know this, but pastures are actually affected by, you know, what is it? Fertility. And they kind of stink if you do not properly, you know, set up the, you know, that sort of stuff. So here, let's shrink this down a little bit. Okay, that's the wrong thing. Shrink this down a little bit. It is gonna narrow down the output just a little bit, which is fine. I'm not like too worried about that. All right, we'll plop the gate. Say like probably like right about here in the middle. And then we're going to throw down some huts because we want this to be as efficient as possible. Put down 2 because we are going to eventually expand this, just not right now. Okay, we'll throw that up. Let that get to work. Let everybody focus on that sort of stuff. They'll clear out all this stuff here. Maybe eventually we can start like growing some grain or maybe some fruit. I'm not huge on bread. Bread has kind of screwed me over in the past, so I don't really care for it too much. We are going to want this fishery sooner rather than later because food is starting to, you know, run out. And when you start running out of food, you know, people are like, well, what the hell? You know, where's my food? So actually, I might need to cancel construction on this for now. I don't really want to, but at the same time, I feel like it's more important getting the fishery set up. So let's just scrap that building real quick. Let's get the fishery set up. Let's see what food production's looking like, and then we can move on from there. So if you look over here, this is like your workforce, like how many people you have working at the time. And as of right now, I only have one really main job, and that is, running the warehouse and making sure all of the food is suitably, put away. We are running low on rations, so let's think about what we need to do at this point. This only has one crate listed to it. The grain is also going to start running out soon. We have plenty of that. For right now, we're going to drop that. Well, actually, okay, never mind. We have 0 rations right now, so we have 0 food. So people are probably going to start freaking out. So I think what we'll do here is let's quickly pause, and let's head over to the worms here. These things are actually kind of nice because they just give you a lot of food. So if you head over here to... No, that's the hunting building. We don't really care about that too much. This button right here, hunt, and actually tell your people to come hunt down these animals. And if you look at that, that's a lot of meat that they give you. So, these are actually a very good source of sustaining while we get to build what we need to build. So we'll have a couple of our people come over, grab them, take them over to the butcher shop here, cut them up, stuff it in the boxes, and then just kind of get ready to eat from there. Food is key. If you do not have food, your people will freak out. Please keep that in mind. I have made that mistake a lot of times, and it's kind of killed my my settlement. We have 21 days of food. Okay, yeah, that's going to tide us over for a very long time. All right, let's go take a quick peek over here. This is getting built pretty well. We have all the wood we need. It's just taking construction time. Because I want to see how many jobs this is going to eat up. Because, see, the thing is like, you want to keep your people employed because they start to complain if they don't have jobs. But if, they're too employed, you have too many people working, it kind of becomes an issue in the sense of that, people are like, oh, well, you don't have anybody odd jobbing anymore. Okay, so we are producing fish, and we still have some jobs left over. Okay, that's good. So let's go ahead and set up that pasture, and I think we'll probably call it for this video. If you guys are enjoying it, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It means a lot to me. The channel's been growing a lot lately, and, I do hope you guys really enjoy what I make. I've been having so much fun making content for you guys. It really means a lot every time, somebody leaves a comment, just saying something nice, or even, just constructive criticism. I think it's better than, nobody really saying anything. I know sometimes people don't really want to comment, and that's not like a big deal. I don't really mind too much. But I do like hearing from you guys. It does make me feel pretty nice. Alright, cool. We're really on the uptick right now. We're producing food. We're going to get a pasture thrown up, and I think this is going to be a really good playthrough, honestly. Because eventually what we're going to do is, we'll expand this to be, like, pretty big, and then maybe across the water or on another side we can set up, like, farms and stuff. I know the Amevians aren't, like, super great at farming, but that's not, like, super big deal. Yeah, we want the radius as big as possible at this point. Because eventually, as, like, your people start getting bigger and bigger, and they start getting smarter and smarter, you can actually start, going through a tech tree and stuff. It seems like, with this, everything's kind of, like, a little mishmashed around right now, so I would have to look around and find it. I think, is it... No, the Tome of Knowledge is everything you need to know. Where did they put the technology? Ah, here it is, the technology. Yeah, okay, so this is the technology tree. As your civilization gets smarter and better, you're eventually going to want to get to the point where you want to start researching technology, which will, hopefully make everything start working better. That's typically usually what you want to do. I'm pretty sure, like, our people are called, like, Craptopia or something, so let's actually, like, go change that. Ruler, his name shall be Glizzard, Lord of the Glizzies. And the faction name, you know what, here, I will let you guys decide what do you want the faction to be named. Let me know down in the comments below, and I will get that updated for the next video. Alright, I think with how much food we're producing at this point, we're gonna want to start immigrating more people, so let's see what we can do about that. We can get in 4 new people. So watch, as soon as I push the authorize button... Oh wow, huh. That's kind of crazy. Your people usually get kind of pissed if you start, immigrating people in, but maybe with the new update that's a little different. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, but okay, if you look over here, you can see that the food days have kind of tanked just because we do have a larger population. I think the goal for the end of this video is probably going to get the pasture done, seeing how much it's going to start producing, and then see if we can maybe immigrate in one more lizard. And it seems like we actually can do that real quick. Let's go ahead and immigrate just one. I don't want to boom my population too fast. We want to be able to make sure we're, not outstripping more than we're producing. All right, cool. They're almost done clearing the way here. We've got some more workers doing stuff. And then eventually, as you start going through the tech tree and you also start building new types of buildings, you can actually start upgrading these things here to make them, produce more and just overall do better. And that's kind of what you want to stick with and do as much as you can. So realistically, we're going to focus on, carving out this land here and turning it into just a massive, lizard city. But eventually we are going to start pulling backwards and colonizing into the mountains and turning that into kind of like a more fortress-built area, because there are a lot of resources in there we're going to want. But because of how Amevians are, we got to stay outside for now and just keep producing and making sure, we're not, like, shitting the bed, because that can happen pretty easily. So you do want to keep your people happy. So I think something I'm going to do is we're actually going to set up a food stall. Let's make it about as big as the house. I think that's pretty good. And then we'll make it decently big in case we need to expand it later. All right, we'll roll that around so it's facing this way. And then, yeah, boom. Go ahead, pop that in. Because, realistically, like, the main thing you want to do is you want to keep your people as happy as possible because, happy people listen, they work and they do what you need to do. Upset people and annoyed people are not going to do anything. They're going to, be pissed at you and they're going to not work very well. Ah, man. Okay, so this is kind of where I start to feel kind of weird with how it comes to, like, setting up your people, because it's like, all right, if you put more people in, then, maybe the game will produce more and you'll get what you want. But if you put too many people in, the workload starts getting too, small. There's too many people working in here at once, so nothing's really getting done. All right, cool. The pasture's set up. So how are we doing in terms of, like, food production? Pretty good, pretty good. We're making eggs, we're making meat, we're making fish. Everything's going pretty well. I think this is honestly, like, a really great start, and I'm really enjoying this beta here. I would highly recommend going and checking it out and just, giving it a try yourself and seeing if you like it. The only thing that kind of bothers me sometimes is, like, if you go over to, like, the fishery and let's say, I want to expand it and make it bigger, so, we're producing more fish. It does technically deconstruct the building, meaning that, you're no longer producing food, which will cause your happiness to tank, and your people will be like, "What? Food? Where'd all the food go? Oh!" I do know people like food diversity, so, having those Balti crawlers and, meat, just meat in general, is probably going to keep things moving pretty well. Yeah, okay, cool. I think this is honestly, like, a really cool, like, good start. I think we're going to be able to do a lot with this. I know there are things here and there that I have to learn how to do better and better. Like, I know, for example, I did see in, like, a video somewhere, if you take, like, where is it? The well, and you push this button, like, the increase here, it actually makes, like, an overall, like, bigger building. So I gotta start, like, working on that more and more. Actually, you know what? I think that's a perfect time. So, because it's gonna be a little too hot, we're gonna delete the building. Let's go over to here. Let's go to our health. Let's make a nice big well. Pop it down right there. Because, I mean, we as lizards, we love water, so we want as much water as possible. So when you start having more water, lizards are happier. I think realistically, like, because the temperature is warm, we're not, like, too worried about, like, how much, like, it being too cold. I mean, like, obviously we'll leave up a hearth and stuff, but, like, I feel like, heat is going to be, like, more of the issue. But yeah, dude, look at that, dude. We're getting some food going. We're producing some animals. Eventually, I think I'll probably just make this as big as this entire area. All right, so I think this is a good start to our civilization. I hope you guys are enjoying this, and I'll see you guys next time. GalaxyGorilla out.